We're going to be making a pattern on the wall. I'm going to show you the equipment that I use and how I draw it on the wall. Well, it'll get dark in here in a little bit, but I'll show you the equipment that I use first. Either I'll use an overhead projector or another kind of projector. I'm a little bit old school. Some people actually use like a projector for a TV and they shine it up on their paper. I don't. I go a little old school. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, this is my overhead projector setup. It's on wheels and you can pull it back or forward. This one here was vellum. I draw on there and then I lay it on here just like if you were in school and it shined up on the blackboard. Here's the one I'll be using today. This is my favorite one. You put a sheet of paper or whatever picture you drew facing down and it shines up onto the wall. So I'll set up and we'll get started. We'll be using this one today. I already started drawing Woody and completed him with this cowboy sign we're making. And it's going to be called Woody's Roundup. And we'll talk about what kind of a sign I was going to make, or I'm making actually. So right here is the picture that I put down on the projector. And these lines and the words will be blown up on here. You can see the W right here. Here's actually the picture of Woody I used. And I did this drawing just to get going, just to see if I really had the feeling of Woody or if I wanted to go in another direction. Some people ask me what kind of marker do I use or how do I draw on there, and I use this top secret weapon. It's a number 2 pencil, and that's usually what I've always drawn with. I draw with this, not this number 2, I've had hundreds of them obviously, but I just basically do a number 2 pencil. It's in the toolbox, everyone has them. These are probably what I've stolen from my son. And we're gonna turn off the lights and I'll shoot the projector up here and you'll see how I draw on these letters. Here we go. Oh, I'm scared. And there it is. And you could pull this in and out to make if I backed it up, and let's just do that. I'll back it up, the letters will get bigger and bigger. And then I can focus it. I'm turning this knob, and now I focused it in. I can pull all the way back in to the size we're making. I know I'm a little off screen, I bet. And I'm turning it to adjust, to make it good and clear. And there, that's good enough. As we say, good enough for women we go out with. And then I walk up my number 2 pencil and I just start drawing. I used to work at a sign company when I first started with an overhead projector. And we would draw the letters with the overhead projector, and that's all we had. We didn't have computers or anything. So I would draw all these letters. I would press these little letters down onto vellum and then use an overhead projector. So I do all my overhead projector work on like Monday. And then on Fridays, Thursdays, mostly Thursdays and then into Friday, I would do all the sandblasting. So I would put on this little suit and I would go out with a helmet on and my jeans, and I put duct tape over my shoes, around my legs and everything, get all set up just to shoot sandblaster, because I just made wood signs then, and that's all I made. And I would take those signs, we'd cover them with rubber, I'd hand cut, just like this. I would blow up and then draw and then hand cut all the letters out, read them out, take them outside next to this barn, and sandblast for the whole day. And I'd get home and I would have sand in my shoes, and I duct taped. I did whatever I could to not get sand in me. I was pulling it, taking my clothes off at the end of the day. I had sand in my underwear. That's how bad it was. But it was a great job. It was my favorite thing to do. That's why I still do wood signs today, because I just enjoy it so much. And I would do this all day, pitch black, just me, radio. They had a dog that would lay in there. And it was just me by myself drawing all day these signs that people would order using an overhead projector. And pitch black like we are right now. I would be wearing, then, it was a long time ago now I think, I'd be wearing cut-off jeans because it'd be summertime, and after winter, I would take all my jeans and cut the legs off, and then I'd wear those jeans all summer. And I was that guy with the white pockets hanging out of one side, and I'd be driving back and forth to work, just wearing cut-offs and making signs. And it was the greatest job in the whole world, and actually still is. So I'm following all the lines. I don't keep it exact because this is just a pattern. So this pattern changes the whole time I'm making this kind of a sign. And this sign, I think, is going to be, I'm going to make an old school plywood sign. And a little bit less than a half an inch. It'll be a combination between maybe ½ inch, 3/4, and this. And to make it look old, like it's worn out, beat up, like it's been around the block a couple times, I'll show you a toolbox over there that I made a while ago. But just to give you an idea, well, you know what, let's go over there and look at that toolbox. This is made out of plywood, so it looks like an old school, and it's made just like we would make a billboard. And it's plywood all the way around, and it's made to look like, turn it around once, just like it would be if we made an old billboard. This would be the sign company that made it at the bottom of the billboard, Johnson Sign Company. It says sold here. Here's the back. There you go. Mountain Dew, it'll tickle your innards, it said. So it's make-believe, like we took the billboard down and I didn't have a toolbox on the truck or one that I could use. So the boss maybe said, hey, go get yourself a sheet of plywood, an old sign, and you'd make something out of it. Not too long ago, we were at the shop and we tore down this old beater bench. It was all beat up. We just killed the bench. And we pulled the bottom of the bench off, and sure enough, it was a hand-painted billboard facing down to the floor. So we would pull these billboards down and they just become other signs. Constantly, we would reuse an old sign, paint over it and paint over it and paint over it. An old sign became a new sign the next week. So to make this is actually 3 colors. And most billboards are 3, 4, 5 colors. Cars are driving by like at 50 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. You know, you just can't go too crazy with all the colors. Some signs would have full murals painted on them by hand. This one was like a 3-color billboard. And how I like to do it is this is white, green, and red. Well, it's not really. What it is this is tan, green made with brown in it, and maroon. That helps me start the aging, and then I go through a whole painting process, which we can go over with Woody. And that's just how I make this type of sign. Let's see, I'll try to open this up here. Kind of a mess in here. And here's how the door opens. And then just some stuff I'm working on is in there. And this is a Dutch tool chest, I think it's based off of. I just thought at the time, I don't know when, but I thought it was interesting at the time. And it works pretty good for me. And one thing, they call me the flat topper, because if there's a flat surface, I will throw my tools all over it. The whole job will be laying on top of there. So it's like perfect for me, this toolbox, because I can't lay anything on here. Anything I lay on here just falls right off. So maybe I would tape my drawing on here, and that's it. I can lift it up and still get to my tools. All right, like this arm moving up and down and his hat coming off, like he's tipping his hat to you. I think that'd be cool. But to make a sign like it's a billboard, it's fake, but we want it to come to life. Woody's all done, you can probably see him a little bit better. So, like, to make him kind of pop out of the sign, and we're gonna have him animatronic, we're gonna do all flat cutouts. So him, the letters, the sign, everything will be flat cut out. We're gonna age it like the old toolbox over there, and I think that'll look pretty cool. Okay, well, I'll see you a little later when we're starting to cut these out.